What do you do if everything on the application looked right, but none of it felt real? She met every requirement on paper, but her documents didn't make sense. Before I ever show a unit, I ask screening questions. Income, rental history, background basics. Because I'm not trying to waste my time or theirs. So when she reached out, everything checked out. She met the requirements, no issues. So I scheduled a showing. Like I always do, I stacked a few people at the same time because the reality is some people just don't show up. She did. Seemed normal. She was interested. Nothing felt off. Yet. So I sent her the application. And that's when everything changed. The first thing I noticed, her check stubs couldn't be verified with screening software. The system flagged them, so I asked her to send them to me directly. When I got them, a few things felt off. They were old and not the most recent check stubs. She said she didn't have the current ones yet. But then I looked closer, and her name was clear, but everything else was blurry. And for one of them, her name wasn't even in the same font. And we all know that's not normal. So I asked for a W-2. She said she could only access it from her work computer and couldn't send it right away, but eventually she sent it. I opened it up, and the income is a perfectly even number, like $45,000, no cents, no variation. And this doesn't happen in real life. Then she sends bank statements that I didn't ask for, but I took a glance at them, and the deposits on the statements matched the check stubs, but I took a closer look and realized her name wasn't on any of the pages. At this point, I already knew, but I kept going just to confirm what was happening. I asked her for updated check stubs again. This time she got upset, and she said I was asking for too much personal information. So I told her this is standard, but I'm not here to make anybody uncomfortable, so if you don't want to move forward, that's fine, just let me know. And she said she would send it. That's when I moved to employment verification. People can lie and create documents, but the system is going to give me the information I need. Called her employer. They wouldn't verify anything. They said I needed to go through a third-party system. So I did. I got online, went to the website that they told me I needed to go to, entered the information, hit the submit button, and then I get a page that says, no record of employment. I took a screenshot, sent it to her, and just like that, she disappeared. Never heard from her again. Red flags don't show up all at once. They build, but you have to make sure you're looking at things closely. It wasn't one thing, it was a pattern. Unverified documents, blurry information, font inconsistencies, delays, defensiveness. Individually, you might ignore it, but together, that's your answer. If something feels off, it usually is. This is the part that people skip. You don't want to be wrong or you don't want to lose a tenant. But the reality is, a bad tenant costs you way more than a vacant unit ever will. Your screening system has to do more than collect documents. The software should verify employment, cross-check income, and flag inconsistencies. And if it doesn't, you need to have a backup system doing things the old school way. Calls, emails, and manual verification. People will lie, especially when they're desperate. And sometimes not just desperate, experienced. There are people out there who know exactly how to fake documents, mimic income, and get approved. These are people we call professional tenants. Don't skip steps ever. Not because people are bad, but because the one step you skip could be the one that costs you an eviction. Pay attention before the showing even happens. Some of the biggest red flags happen early. Long emotional messages, urgent move-in pressure, blaming previous housing situations. I had to stop paying rent because maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But your job isn't to assume, it's to verify. Fraud is getting smarter. I don't know if it's AI or just easier tools. But I do know this. Documents are getting better. Well, not hers. Maybe not in this situation. And it happens more often. And that means your process has to get stronger. Being a property owner isn't just about finding someone to fill a unit. It's about knowing who you're letting in. Because the wrong decision here doesn't just cost you rent. It costs you time, money, and peace. Until next time, remember, chaos will come. But what's most important is knowing how to protect your property, your cash flow, and your peace of mind when it does.